Jim McDermott has unveiled student loan reform legislation to lower costs and also protect borrowers. It's called the Fairness in Student Loan Lending Act, and Congressman McDermott is good enough to join us. And Congressman, let's start with exactly how this would work.
Well, basically, we want to fix a couple of the problems with the loan system right now. People take loans at very high rates, but they can never refinance them. When I bought a house, I've refinanced my house 4 or 5 times over the course of the time I've been in the house. But a student is stuck with the loan they got on the day they got it. They cannot refinance. So we give them the right to refinance, and we say let's refinance them at 1% above the 10-year note, federal note. And that, if you were doing that today, you would be paying, in February, it would be 2.68%. That would be the loan rate if you use the federal 10-year Treasury note. And the third thing we do is that after a certain period of time, if people are unable to pay it, they can discharge it in bankruptcy. Right now, you cannot get rid of the loan. It's there with you forever. And so it's crippling not only the kids, but their parents who've put their houses up. It's crippling the housing industry because people with big loans can't go out and get another loan to buy a house. There are all kinds of ways in which this has been very tough on our situation. We've essentially created indentured students.
It seems logical. It seems fair. So who's pushing back?
Well, we'll find out. I think that obviously the federal government is making money off kids, and the banks are making money off kids and their parents, and the middle class is getting crushed. I mean, I have known plenty of people in their 40s who are still paying debts. My sister was paying back her loans until she was 49. So you'll find that story all over. It isn't just 22-year-olds we're talking about here. We're talking about people in their middle years where they would be wanting to have kids, they'd want to buy a house, they'd want to buy a new car. They can't because they're under this loan. And some people, one woman said to me, I'm paying more in loan interest right now than I'm paying in my house rent. How do I ever get out from under that?
It's interesting, in the release you put out, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has found that young people with student debt are now less likely to hold a mortgage. And that's so unfortunate at this time, considering where interest rates are. It would be a great time for younger people to have an opportunity to become a first-time home owner and begin that process. But these student loans are putting the brakes on that.
That's exactly my point. When I started out talking to people about this, the first guys that came forward were the real estate guys who said, hey, look, we'd like to sell houses to young people, but we can't. This is a perfect time to buy. The interest rates are low. I mean, these interest rates are half of what they were when I bought my first house. And so it is absolutely crazy situation. We say we need educated people, but then we indenture them to the banks or to the federal government, for that matter, in their loans, and they can't get on with their lives. It doesn't make it, from an investment in human capital sense, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Across the aisle, what is the general view of this issue?
Well, we'll find out. I put the bill out there, and I'm gathering signatures, and we'll see how many people are really interested in kids and how many just want to talk about it. Because this is really a bill that will do something for students about student debt. And a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people make speeches and all the rest. The question is, will they put their name on a bill? And I think I'm going to tell kids around the country that they ought to make their judgment on who they vote for in the next election as to what their position is on student debt.
Congressman Jim McDermott on the Fairness in Student Loan Lending Act. Congressman, we appreciate your time and your information, and we'll certainly keep tabs on this as it moves forward.
Okay. Anytime. Give me a call.